Hey, what is up, everybody? Tyke Miller Outdoors here, and we're going to do a little tutorial here on how we tie crawler harnesses. Everybody does their own way. You can buy pre-tied ones, but we prefer to do our own, and this is how we do it. So here's a little video talking about that. So here's the arsenal that we have here. This is the blade that I'm choosing to tie up a harness of here. It's blue with a teal color with some speckle in it. Chrome back. We have matching beads that I just liked for this specific harness. This blade specifically, I like about 8 beads with. It's 1 bead then past the blade after it's all tied up. For my bottom hook, I like to use a size 10 treble hook. And then for the one above that, I believe this is a size 6 octopus style hook. And then a speed change clevis, in case you ever want to change your blade out or something happens. Just your standard barrel swivel. And then we like to use 14-pound low-vis green mono. So for the length of the harness itself, we like to do about a full wingspan, which is somewhere between 5 and 6 feet long. Doesn't need to be anything exact, we just like slightly longer. So start out by tying on a treble hook with just whatever your favorite style of knot is, but we use a clinch knot or an improved clinch knot. With mono, the clinch knot's pretty strong, so don't need to get too crazy with it. We used to always use just 2 octopus hooks, not a treble hook, but we found out over the years is that that we lose a lot less fish when we're harness fishing with these treble hooks on the bottom. So one of the things that we started doing this year was we actually started transitioning and going and retying all of our old ones and making them all into treble hooks for the bottom. But so I slid the octopus hook on, do it about 3 inches above the treble hook, because the crawlers we get around here tend to be a bit bigger. We do a snell knot. So to do a snell knot is you just run it up the shaft of the hook, and then we wrap it 10 times. I used to do it less, but Tim brought up a good point to me to do more like 10, and it runs on the shaft further, and it keeps the hook stays in line with the harness better, and it doesn't flop around as much. So wrap it around 10 times, grab your tag end, and run it right up through the shaft, or through the eye, sorry. And then as you can see, it holds it nice and straight on there. It doesn't really flop around much. So then take and put all your beads on, all but one. So we got 2 stuck together here, so that's a nice easy one. And another 2 stuck together one. I know there's a lot of people out there that prefer to just buy the pre-tied ones. We like tying our own, and also having all the gear to tie your own allows you to change on the fly, or if you have a hook break or your line starts to get weak, you can retie them really easily yourself because you have everything for it. So we got 8 beads on, and we run the clevis down, and then put a bead up on top of the clevis, and after that, tie on your barrel, and just do a simple clinch knot up on here as well. Wet it, pull it nice and tight, and pop your blade on, and voila. There. A little over a bead pass, but that gives you a little bit of play on top of your crawler. I mean, typically you want to hook your crawler just barely into the tip of this, but if it hangs out a little bit past it, you don't have to worry about your blade hitting the top of the crawler and ruining the action of it. But that's all you got. So like I said, we're in the process of changing over all of our old harnesses. So like here's an old one, for example. It's getting weaker. The line's worse, and it's the old 2 octopus style hooks. That's what we used to do. So say we were out on the water and I wanted to change this out, could really quickly make one up. And this has happened numerous times where we've had lines snap while we're out in the water, break off one hook, cut one hook for the fish, whatever the case may be. But it allows us to really quickly, because we have so when we're trolling harnesses, we have our box out in the boat, and we keep a bunch of extra treble hooks, some octopus hooks, barrel swivels, and everything we need. We keep a spool of line. Numerous times during the tournaments, I have taken and retied whole harnesses while we're out there because of a break off or cutting, whatever the case may be. And you can do it on the fly really quick to get that color back out. Or it allows you, if you have a specific color that's doing really well, you can really, you could tie up a couple as time allows, and you could start running a whole bunch more of them while you're out there. But as you can see, it doesn't take very long. And I'm not discrediting the people that make pre-made harnesses for you. They're all good. They're all fine. Everybody does their own way. But they do go bad over time. The teeth from the walleyes will take and weaken your line. So having the ability to make these on your own to fix your old ones, it's always a good thing. So just like that, we got our hooks tied up. And we'll take... So usually, unless it breaks to the point where your harness is completely broken and you can't reuse it, you can just take and you can take your new line, thread it up your old one, and if you get lucky enough, you can get multiple beads at once, but it's still pretty quick. And then once you're all said and done, well, we had this happen specifically last year during our tournaments. Our best color bait actually happened to both of them. We snapped the hooks on the back hook on both of our one specific color that was doing really well, and had to really quickly get two new ones back out there because we didn't have any more of them tied up. We typically try to have two of everything that we like or are using tied up, but sometimes things happen and you don't. We have too many harnesses already, so it's hard to always have two ready. But so we got the beads pulled, line can be snipped, and a new barrel tied on, and you're ready to go, all in the course of just a couple minutes, which isn't too bad at all when you're considering harnesses. So, but like I said, this is just what we do. Works well for us. We don't seem to have, our lines don't snap too often. The quality of our knots in our harnesses in general, they're all pretty good. Some people might think that these treble hooks are too big. We don't really tend to see a difference at all. I'm hooked in the rug right now. There we go. We don't tend to see a difference. The only difference we really do see is that we tend to get better hookups. We lose less fish because they do get a hook in them pretty good. We don't really notice anything different when it comes to how many, if we have any fish choking them down or anything more. While you're trolling, that doesn't happen too often. But just like that, we're all good and ready to get back on the water. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this type of video. I know it's a bit different than we're used to doing, but I figured it'd add some variety to the channel. So if you guys do like this, give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe if you have not already, and thank you for watching. Take care.